The Office of the Ombudsman orders the suspension of 33 officials over the alleged anomalous purchase of pandemic supplies from Pharmally Pharmaceutical.
It really feels like a very sweet initial victory, vindication sa iba't ibang stakeholders dito sa ating health sector.
However, Gordon told One Balita Pilipinas that former President Rodrigo Duterte and former Health Secretary Francisco Duque III should have been included as respondents in the order. The former senator said that the two had command responsibility as the graft-laden procurement of pandemic supplies happened under their watch.
Ang tinamaan dyan, all the way up to the President of the Republic of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, kasama si Lau, Undersecretary Lau, si Mr. Leong, na number 2 ni Lau, at ilan pa mga, pati si Secretary Duque, dahil na masyadong napakalaki, hindi na masyado, talagang malaki yung talagang wala sa gobyerno, dahil sa kanilang mga aksyon na dapat isama yung mga tao talaga na hindi mangyayari yan kundi nila pinayagan.
It took the Senate months to scrutinize the Pharmally mess. In the process, we saw how a supermajority upper chamber ended the investigation. Almost a year after the May 2022 elections, the Office of the Ombudsman suspended 33 government officials over shady procurements. Now, the senator who led the push for accountability in the Pharmally controversy wants all those involved jailed. We sit down with former Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman Richard Gordon tonight on the Chiefs. Welcome to the Monday edition of The Chiefs. I'm Ed Lingao. With me tonight, of course, Robbie Alampay of One News and Ana Marie Pamintuan, the Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star. Happy Monday. Happy Holy Week.
Holy Week. Mali nga yun, hindi happy, no?
Blessed Holy Week. We'll be saying that the whole week. Well, we have an exciting guest tonight. We have with us, joining us tonight will be, former Senator and former Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman Richard Gordon. Ang dami natin pwedeng pag-usapan. Of course, beginning with the Pharmally controversy.
And he's also the chairman of the
Red Cross. Dami nangyayari.
Also health din yan.
Pharmally rin yun.
Pharmally din yan.
And of course, his point of view with regard to a lot of things from the pension system down the line to
Cha-cha.
and Cha-cha. So, yun. So, we will just take a quick break. We will be back with Senator Richard Gordon after this short break. The Chiefs will be right back.
Welcome back to Chiefs. With us this evening in the flesh, former Senator Richard Gordon. Good evening, Senator. Welcome back to the Chiefs in the studio.
Magandang gabi po. Maraming salamat sa pag-iminaya. Glad to be here.
Malayo ba binyahin niyo or tumawid lang kayo?
Tumawid lang ako.
Of course, Senator Richard Gordon is, of course, also chair of the Philippine Red Cross.
Yes.
Sir, okay, I want to start with Pharmally.
Yes.
Of course.
Is there any other?
You had the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing there a long time ago. But apparently it's not forgotten. I know that's always your trepidation. Baka makalimutan itong mga to. But the Ombudsman suspending some officials. We know it's not all the officials that you wanted for them to go after. Your thoughts on this? Is this disappointing? Is this encouraging? Is this just a start? And itapon ko na rin dito. Lahat ng character sa Pharmally, are they even all here still in the Philippines?
Well, I'll go to the last question. Yes, they're still here.
Okay.
Michael Yang still here.
Okay.
First question, I was incredulous. Alam mo naman dito kung hindi mo pupupukin, nilalabas It doesn't move. Thankfully, you have an ombudsman who obviously feels threatened that a man who was involved deeply into the Pharmally fraud was appointed deputy director by the president himself.
Yes.
So that means he has a pass. In other words, I'm talking about the president. He has a pass.
Yes.
Ba't ko imbestigahin niya, nag-appoint sa akin. This guy was involved, signing all the checks, signing all the documents.
And obviously, ang sinama lang ng ombudsman ay yung mga nasa gobyerno pa. Administrative pa lang ito. So, ibig sabihin, yun na andyan, isususpindi nila. Tama yung sinabi naman ng isang tao dyan na kawawa naman yung maliliit. Tama. Nasaan yung malalaki? They're still here. I don't know what happened to the BIR. Hinabol ba nila yung mga may kotse na Lamborghini? Hinabol ba nila yung mga may Porsche? Hinabol ba nila si Michael Yang na for 20 years ang binayad na tax 200,000? Ang daming tatanungin eh. At it's already there. The proof is there in black and white. What happened to the Money Laundering Council? There's a guy by the name of Lowy Show, hindi namin nakuha, nagtago sa Dubai. Yan yung asawa ni Rose Nonolim na yung garahe nanganganak ng kotse sari-sari. Hindi na bumalik. And he is authorized by the board, ng dalawang Indians, na sabihin sa kanya na he can get the money that is paid to this bank. Labas mo yung pera, wala na kaming pakialam. So, nilabas yung pera. So, we're caught the proverbial empty bag. At bakit naman i-appoint ito mga taong ito, tapos mangungulimbat lang pala? After Lao was involved in the shipping fiasco, yung sa yung ating Corvette, yung communication system, nagkagulo sila. Pagkatapos yung after Yang was involved in a housing fiasco, yung sa housing development board, in-appoint siya dito. Pag-appoint niya, ilang buwan lang sila? Wala pang 5 buwan. Ang nakulimbat, 42 billion. Ang inabot ko lang, 11 billion. And we can prove that every peso that was given, inuwi nila, kinuha nila lahat. In fact, there was a time when in 3 days, they were able to get about 3 billion pesos in 3 days. Saan ka makakakuha ng gano'n? For a company na 625,000 pesos lang ang kapital, ang kinuha 11 billion. Even in a private corporation, pag umutang ka sa bangko, tatanungin ka pa, utangin ka ba kung 625,000 pesos? It is so glaring, so filled with impunity, na ano tayo, mga tanga? Are we a nation na talagang wala tayong magagawa, talagang ganyan?
Is that a rhetorical question?
No, it's a fact. It's a fact. We have to really say, we cannot fix blame only, you have to fix the problem. And if we do not do it, this is the biggest case na talagang unearthed ng Senado. Hindi ba kayo magtatanong, nag-iimbestiga pa lang yung COA, sinasabihan na ng Presidente, okay maniwala sa COA, ihuhulog ko sa hagdanan niya, pinipi-ay niya pa. Dapat magalit na kayo doon dahil constitutional body yan, they were doing their duty. Nung mag-imbestiga ang Senado, another co-equal branch, okay maniwala dyan, I will not let any of my cabinet members go to that meeting. Anong pinoproteksyonan? So, you know, can you blame us? The more you do that, you're showing your skirt. Your skirt is showing na may tinatago ka ba? Bakit mo ilalagay ang mga tao may mga kaso? Lahat yan, nagtrabaho sa'yo. Sabihin mo, may utang na loob ako dyan, nagbabayad ako ng utang na loob. That's not good enough. You have to really come out and say, if you did wrong, dapat ko ikaw ang presidente, nag-iimbestiga Senado, nag-iimbestiga COA, NBI, imbestigahin nyo na yan. Haluin nyo na. Hindi, pinipigil yung investigasyon. Minumura lahat yung mga taong involved sa investigation. And then, after the investigation, after so much money has been taken, after so much exposés have been done, tatakas yung dalawang Indian, yung tatlo, tatakas ang tumago. Davao.
Napigilan naman.
Kami ang nakapigil, hindi gobyerno, kami. Blue Ribbon. Alright? Hinintay namin, palabisin niyo muna. Magaling si General Subonte. Pinalabas. Pagsakay doon sa aeroplano, nakalabas na doon sa immigration. Ayun, huli. Aba, may papel. Charter. $150,000 ata doon sa Dubai, nasira aeroplano. They settled for $50,000 for a charter to the mother, the sister, and Mohit Gargani. Diba nakakatawa? May nakalagay doon pangalan. MD ang pangalan. Kalimutan ko lang yung pangalan eh. Tinatanong, sino yung MD na yan? Sino yung pangalan na yan? Hindi ko alam, nakilala ko lang sa bar eh. Yung sagot. Anong pangalan ni Dargani? MD, Mohit Dargani. It was a fake name. So, halatang-halata ginagago na ang buong bansa. Bakit? Kasi pinupuri ko ang ombudsman, at least na umpisahan, nabuksan ng susi. Kailangan ngayon, lahat ng media, kayo, tayo, mga tao, ibalik nyo yung pera.
Because imagine you have two minds to it. Kasi on one hand, yeah, gumulong ang ombudsman, but on the other hand, up to a certain level lang, and it's also only preventive suspension. It's not, it's administrative. It's
That
not
is
even
all
criminal.
natural because kung nasa gobyerno pa yan, makakapangharang sa investigasyon. But that doesn't prevent the ombudsman from motu proprio with all the evidence in na nakalap, kompleto ebidensya.
Pero pinapursue pa naman, di ba? The criminal
kaya-
investigation
Di
is
ba, wala namang
ongoing.
sinasabing hindi pinapursue. Kaya nga sabi ko, kailangan mag-lobby ang buong Pilipinas. Sabi, oy, pagbigyan niya naman ng bansa.
Hindi, pero yun nga, parang is that the scenario here na, okay, kawawa yung maliit na, nag-umpisa sa maliit, pero is that part of a case build-up that you might anticipate? Some people here might turn witness and so on.
I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I believe that hindi niya bubuksan yan. Na may nagsasabi kasi nilagay yung number 2 sa kanya. Kung ikaw ang ombudsman, nilagay yung number 2 na kasama dito sa investigasyon. Pag
Pero
inimbestiga mo,
sinuspindi.
naandun siya, tatanggalin mo yan, siyempre, di ba? Sususpendin mo yan.
Sinuspindi naman, di ba?
The president has no business to appoint that guy in the first place.
Yes. Well, we have a new president now.
Well-
Under this new president, anong nakikita niyo?
Welcome to the club.
No, are you more hopeful na it'll move? Malaking bagay yan,
Hope
di ba?
springs eternal. I'm a very optimistic person. But kung hindi naman ako ang presidente, pero kung ako yan, uy, buksan naman yun para manalo naman ang tao for a change.
Pero sa indicators, I mean, yeah, hope springs eternal.
Yes.
I mean, anybody can say that. But from all the indicators, kasi nakailang buwan na rin naman eh.
Oh.
Anong tansya ninyo?
8 months na.
Kasi sa totoo lang, kami and most Filipinos latch on to every small movement. Parang just
Yes.
the fact na gumalaw to. For
9
everybody, say,
months.
oh, that's different.
Do not say that. Say, gagalaw na yan. Papaluin niya na yan. Papakulong niya na yan. Let's do that because we've never caught any big fish in this country. As big as this. Can you imagine? These are, pinagtatanggol dyan, economic advisor niya. Ha? Yung kaibigan si Lois yung kompleto kami sa litrato, magkakasama sila ni si Presidente, lahat sila. I'm not after the President. I'm just after, at least kunin nyo ito. Kunin nyo itong mga Chinese na ito. Na talagang nangulimbat dito.
Speaking of which, by the way, I just wanted to clarify, that's one person outside of the country, no?
Who?
Yung
Michael yan? Siya?
No. Si
Lois yun.
Si Lois yun.
Nandun pa sa Dubai, yung asawa niya nandito, tumakbo pa nga eh.
Okay.
Di ba? Ganun katindi. Tumakbo pa. Mabuti ang talo.
Yung report ng Blue Ribbon, no? The members, the Senate did not sign.
That is not an
Sign.
issue.
No, I mean, tinurn over ba siya sa
Oh yeah,
ombudsman?
I turned it over. My last act in the Senate was to
Yes.
deliver a privilege speech. So you did not sign.
Yes.
So I want to make this part of the Senate record, not just the ombudsman,
Yes.
not the Blue Ribbon. And under the law, the ombudsman can initiate an investigation, motu proprio. Kahit wala Senate investigation.
Pwedeng
Kaya kasi-
gamitin yun.
Oo, kaya
Yes.
sinasabi ko palagi pag i-imbestiga ako,
Indirect,
kayo mga nasa Blue Ribbon sa ombudsman, kayo mga nasa Money Laundering Council, pag nakita nyo, pwede nyo natirahan yan. Under oath lahat yun. Wala hindi natin pinapansin yan. When you go before the Blue Ribbon, you take an oath that you will tell the truth and nothing but the truth. And if they go after him, they can use it against him.
Teka muna, you're saying that's why you made the point, enter it into the records and so on. But doesn't that enter, I mean, ako lang, parang doesn't that enter the record precisely as soon as they take the oath before the Senate?
Yes.
Or you have to still actively
No.
make that
I have to
effort?
make sure that I do that for myself, for the people, na makita nila na talagang tapos ang investigasyon. Hindi nyo kailangan pirmahan ng lahat because nakikita ng tao, everywhere I go, kamusta na yung formally?
Wala. Anong
Wala,
sinasagot
kung-
mo?
Sabi ko, habulin nyo yung mga taong dapat habulin. Lumabang kayo, magsalita kayo. Hindi pwedeng ganyan na lang tayo na lalapas na natin ang bansa tapos hindi kayo kikibo. Talagang ulit-ulitin yan.
You mentioned the Anti-Money Laundering Council. Based on the report of the Senate, pwede na ba mag-initiate ang AMLC?
This is
ng
evidence that
investigation?
they were taking the money out.
Yes.
Here is a foreign national, low issue, authorized by this corporation to get the millions or the billions of pesos from a bank. Authorized. No investigation.
Yeah. Pero pwede nga ang council because it's a covered offense. di ba? Pwede.
Yeah. Kung masipag ka, hindi kailangan tapang. Pero nandiyan na yan eh. Res ipsa loquitur ang tawag namin sa abogado niya. Things speak for itself. Na under oath, may mga dokumento, meron kang timeline kung paano ginawa yan. Nagkakahirap
Hindi
ang tao.
kailangan ng complainant.
Ha?
Pwede motu proprio.
No, people of the Philippines yan.
Pwede.
People of the Philippines ang complaint yan. Criminal case yan eh.
Someone has to file. Oh, I'm asking about the money
The ombudsman
laundering.
should file. Must file.
How about
Money
you?
laundering
Can you ask the...
I submitted it to them. Risa Antiveros na submitted it to
Di
them.
ba kailangan ng formal request na...
Yes, sir. Wala bang ibang pwede
Pwede
pang
bang
tulak?
motu proprio?
Can you consummate a marriage without getting married?
magpa-file ko
Yeah, you
ng
can.
Sinasagot.
Pero sir, let me ask you, not a legal question, a political question.
Yeah.
You know how Filipinos are.
Yeah.
Very short
No,
memories.
I don't know how Filipinos are.
Yeah, well,
I think we're putting the Filipino in a category na walang ibubuga. There are Filipinos na may lalaban, may hindi. Pag nagsama-sama, yun ang problema natin. Maghihintay mo na, sama ka ba? Sama ka? Pag marami na tayo, lukas sa loob natin.
Nag-iintayan, di ba? Pero nga sir, okay. Very short memories, very selective memories. You've seen the surveys in the last few months of the Duterte administration. Very, very high, very, very
Kayo
popular.
naniniwala kayo sa survey. Pag tinanong ka ba, ang tao, baka may magsabi sa akin na hindi ako bumaboto sa kanya. Ganyan ang Pilipino, natatakot sila eh. Kita mo itong Digamo, kailangan mamatay si Digamo para gumalaw lahat. Hindi ba dapat, ba't may mga barilya mga yan, kumakalat-kalat? Ito, tanong ko lang sa inyo, bakit itong army, nag-awol ka, kaya kami military police, hulihin mo. Di ba delikado tayo? Especially trained yan to kill. Nag-awol, hindi mo hulihin.
Like
Talagang gagamitin yan.
company siya eh.
Gagamitin sa kalokohan. Bakit natin hintay makamatay pa?
Hindi nga daw kasi nila, they weren't keeping track, kaya ngayon they're improving.
That is called, you commit a crime either to fault or negligence. If you're negligent, that's a criminal offense.
Pero sir, you're also looking at what 200,000 active duty members of the
Well paid.
Oo nga, tatanungin ka namin
Very well
mamaya-maya.
paid.
We'll ask you
And
about
I don't
it.
mind. Pero we are putting, as joke na says, talagang yung si joke no? Joke na is now saying, we are in danger of a very, very huge fiscal problem. We're gonna have a deficit.
Tatanungin ka din namin dyan because Senator Trillanes said si Ben Joke na daw ang pumigil ng kanyang yung kanyang proposal.
Sinabi ko yan, nung nasa Senado ako. Ang problema rito, ganito eh. Pag nandoon sa Senado, hindi naman lahat, no? Saan bang hangin?
Dinaan mo na, tapos kaya ganun.
Parang hangin. Kaya hindi pumirma iba.
Yes.
Alam mo, daw mo na isama si Presidente. Ano pala tayo rito, tao-tauhan?
They actually told you that?
Ha?
They actually told you that?
Yes.
Wait, sir, are we talking about family or?
No, this is family. Balik tayo sa family. Balik tayo sa family. They
Ilang
actually
beses na
told
ba
you
ako
that.
nasubukan?
Sige, hindi, kwento niyo
Ban
muna yan.
Marcos, pumirma ako dyan. Brad ko si Marcos. Kaibigan ko yan, kahit na paano. Pagdating sa Ban Marcos, I voted to ban him. Tinatawag ko ni Speaker Villarreal, bata pa ako na, tinatawag ko na Lamatay. Tinawag ko ng Presidente, sabi ko, sir, I cannot vote for that. It's against the Constitution. You know, there comes a time when you're in politics and yung sinusulat na carry din ng profiles of courage. I don't agree with all these examples because yung iba doon, unprincipled rin, mga may racial grounds. Alam mo, sabi niya gano'n, dapat pagka ikaw, senador ka, may courage ka to say no, to show the courage of your conviction and make up your mind. I paid for it. I lost the elections. So what? It's only a title. Oh, you think I'm crying? I'm not. I've served my time. Diba? You know, I did all that. And may I say, not in a shy way. Diba?
Balikan natin yung
Gusto natin marinig yun eh.
Family
Balikan natin
report.
yun, yung precisely your recommendation na dapat kasama dyan si President Duterte. And then
Ang
your
sabi ko,
colleagues
when he's no longer in office,
Yes.
a suit
Yeah.
can be filed against him.
Yes, and they said no. They said that's a deal breaker for us. I mean,
Yeah.
but
I
how
respect
how does
that.
that kind of a conversation take place? I mean, we have no idea. Parang wala kami sa level.
I will be
na-
revealing confidences and I don't mind. But I don't wanna
No
say
names.
No names, sir. No names, sir.
Oh, yan ang sinasabi nila.
Hmm.
Yung iba sabi, pirma ako dyan. Pero pagdating doon sa floor, papaalis ko. Kasi kaibigan ko yan. Kasi, isa, pare, matatalo ako dyan pagka ako pinag-initan. Ganun yan eh. Every day that is a crisis in a senator's life or a congressman's life. You have to make hard decisions.
Okay, let's move to something that puts politicians, even right
No, don't
now...
move muna, tapusin
sige,
natin
sige,
yung
wag mo na, wag mo na. Sige, sige, tapusin natin. Okay, sorry.
Pag inulit ko lahat yan,
Sige.
hindi ka, you know, we're all logical people. Bakit mo ilalagay ang taong yan sa ombudsman? Yan ba ang security mo, guarantee mo na hindi ka madidemanda? Yan yun eh. As simple as that. Bakit mo hinaharang yung investigasyon?
Gatekeeper.
Bakit hindi mo tanungin, bakit mo hinaharang? Imagine, ang laki-laki ng pera. Sabi mo, you are the protector of the people. And then, hinaharang mo, minumura mo kami. O sino ba nagsabi sa kanya? The president, the country doesn't deserve you. No country deserves you. Because minumura mo ang Santo Papa. Okay lang yan. Minumura mo ang Diyos. Okay lang yan. Saan titigil yung okay lang? Magagalit na naman sa akin yan. Sorry. Lahat na sinasabi
Mamurahin
ko.
daw ulit nun.
Hindi, murahin niya ako. Mura. Bibitikin ko lang yan. Putik lang yan. But, he has to live with his conscience all the way to his last day. And
But are you actually seeing this probe going up all the way to?
I'm hoping and I'm
Rodrigo
praying
Duterte?
because every day, there's never a day in my life that when I meet somebody, never a day that goes by where somebody tells me, ano mangyayari sa family? Ano? Sir, idol ko kayo. Galing sa family. Talagang matapang kayo. Hindi yan ang pinag-uusapan. Hindi yan tapang. Yung katotohanan ang dapat niyang pag-usapan. Blue Ribbon is a special committee created by a Congress to see to it that all forms of corruption will be investigated. It is entitled to take oaths, under oaths, and to lock up people. If you look at it, you're a very good reporter, all of you, investigative reporter. I challenge you, tingnan nyo lahat yung report namin sa Blue Ribbon. Yung kapitan, biglang pinapalabas yung preso. Si Sanchez. Sino ba nag-expose yan? Tayo. Natigil yun. Tinanong ko, bakit yung asawa ni Sanchez pupunta sa opisina mo sa Muntinlupa sa gabi? Tapos papalabas mo na. Natigil yun. Kinulong namin yun, 6 months. Hindi mga mababait na tao ito mga ito. Si Albayalde, magagalit na naman sa akin yan. Nahuli namin, nahuhuli up yung mga Koreano. Anong ginawa? Mag-retire ka na lang, wala nang parade. Ganun lang ba yun? You must answer for it. 7 generals, mga kabaro niya ang nag-testify sa kanya. Pinalampas natin. What kind of a society are we? What kind of a people are we? Kung di tayo titindig, sorry. Kung ayaw nyo, I will say talagang ganyan, I'll say, I'm sorry for us.
May malaki silang pension ngayon.
Pension na naman. Pero, sir, ano kasi, in the end, some of the senators, some of your former colleagues are saying na they were looking for something more substantial to pin down the president. I don't know, maybe it's, to what level dapat of evidence?
You want me to repeat my, ang tawag doon, yung mga Holy Mary, pray for us. Saint John the Baptist, pray for us. I will repeat it again. Who appointed this? Sagot.
Well, the president.
All right. Saan nagtrabaho yung mga yan bago sila in-appoint?
Malacanang.
May skandalo ba yan bago in-appoint? Mayroon. 2. Ba't in-appoint mo? Tapos ang laki-laki nung lumalabas sa Senado. Bakit hindi ginalaw ng presidente yung NBI? Bakit hindi niya sinabi, tulungan niyo yung Senado? Tama yan. Wala. No, ang sabi niya, no, hindi nila gagawin yan. May pera yung mga yan. Investor yan si Michael Yang. Investor, 200,000 in 20 years? Laughing all the way, diba? Kunyari, hindi marunong mag-English, hindi marunong mag-Tagalog.
Pero to your point na, yung mga tao, kailangan di kayo magtapang, kailangan di kayo tumapang, kailangan kayo lumaban, you have to have the discipline, you have to have the staying power. I get that. But I want to ask a question on behalf of the people who do. Diba? Civil society, activists, and so on. But they are also saying, look, we rally, we make statements, we do our research, we are responsible about it, we don't talk empty, we back it up both with research and data and action, but then we run up against the institutions. And the institutions run up against the politics that you just described.
It is called an institution because it is there for all time.
Yeah, but it's there still, they still run up precisely
It's
for
there
the
for all time,
frustrations that you just said. So what do you say to the ones? Parang naintindihan ko yung mga ibang hindi mabilis makalimot at hindi lumalaban, and so I understand that there are people like that. But what do you say to the people who don't forget, who do fight, and then who run up against the
Congratulations.
that are then at deadlock with the politics, the frustrating politics that
You're not deadlocked when you're right. You're not deadlocked when you go out there and write letters. You're not deadlocked when you go to the media. You're not deadlocked when you do not. You're deadlocked when you keep quiet.
Okay. That's a good point, sir. But sir, I want to pursue that, but we just need to take a very quick break because we have a news break coming up, so please do stay with us. Okay, Senator Richard Gordon, we will come back.
Welcome back to the Chief. Still with us is former Senator Richard Gordon.
Ba't may former pa? Dick na lang.
Senator Dick Gordon. Okay, Senator Dick, we're talking about the difficulty of implementing reforms, ano?
Yes.
Isang issue ngayon, bago nag-Holy Week break, yung pension fund ng military and uniformed personnel. Ilang administrasyon na daw gusto daw ibaguhin, kaya lang hindi nangyayari. This is in
Maintindihan ng tao
Congress.
yung kung ano yung problema dyan sa pension fund.
Yes.
Pagka tinuloy mo ng tinuloy yan at yung magbataas ang sweldo, tataas yung pension fund. There will come a time, hindi na makakabayad ang gobyerno.
Yan na nga. Fiscal collapse, ang warning.
That's correct. Dapat seryosohin natin yan. Even the military should understand this. Because kung may pera tayo, siguro katulad ng ibang bansa, talagang nilalagay nila sa kanilang military yung budget para may panlaban tayo. Ang totoo niyan, imbis na pension fund at tataas, may pension na sila eh. Dapat talaga, yung sweldo talaga mababa, pero dapat pwede mo maraming solusyon dyan eh. Bago tayo umabot doon, pwede kang mag-conscript. Israel, Korea, Singapore, they all have conscript para bumaba yung budget sa military. Pangalawa,
Sir, to be clear, concept ibig sabihin, for example, in
Yeah,
Israel,
military
18 years old, pasok ka
military
na.
service.
and that is a great equalizer.
South Korea.
Great equalizer. Yung apo ko, yung anak ko, pwede mag-serve, kasama niya yung anak na mahirap, they're in the same barracks. It's a great equalizer. In any country, tingnan nyo malalakas. Israel malakas, Singapore malakas, Korea malakas. Baka may ganun, maganda. Saka nakakababa sa operation ng military. So yung pera na ilalagay mo, yung reform na ginawa ko dyan, katulad yung Chief of Staff, sabi ko, dapat 3-year term. Lumabas yung law, lahat sila binigyan ng 3-year term. Hindi wala nangyari, ganun rin. May ruling class palagi. So, hindi ayaw natin eh. So, itong pension fund, binigyan ng mga nakaraan si President Marcos. Tama naman, bigyan mo yung sundalo. Pero di ba dapat bigyan mo sila ng duty-free shop? Dapat meron silang sariling schools. Para yung kanilang basic things na handle. Eh kung di mo bibigay yan, hahabulin nila. Pag nag-retire ako, dapat meron ako. Sabihin, pag hindi mo binigay, bakit ang Supreme Court mataas? Bakit yung Civil Service Commission mataas? Ba't kami hindi? Eh, ang laki ng military. Katulad sa mga nurses, ba't sila tinataas kami hindi? Pumunta lang ako abroad. So there is really a natural imbalance na nangyayari that creates pain among our people. And the biggest pain is pag hindi na tayo makabayad, two things will happen. Para tayong pigs. Portugal, di ba? Ireland, Greece, ilang mga yan. So hindi na makabayad, we're living beyond our means. Marami tayo, may 4Ps. Marami tayong binibigay na libre lahat. Ngayon, pati yung PNP, nag-aaral pa lang, sinusweldo na. Ang military, ang PMA, pag nag-aaral ka lang, may sweldo ka na, libre uniforme mo, pag graduate mo, meron ka pang officer ka pa kagad. So, ang dami ng benefits. So, ang kinakailangan natin talaga is let us be truthful to thine own self, be true, to our people, be true, that if we do not do that, then the government might fail.
Pero tatanong ko
And if
kung
the government,
bakit.
if the government fails, ang nakakatakot yan, ba't hindi nyo kami binibigyan? May entitlement na yung sundalo. Pag tinanggal nyo kami, magkuku kami.
Yun nga.
Yan ang problema dyan.
Yung bang problema kung bakit? Kasi sinasabi, matagal na daw yan na gustong i-reform. I'm asking you because you're a veteran lawmaker. Ano nangyari? Bakit
And a
hindi pumasa sa
politician.
iba?
We're also asking because you're a politician. Because kailangan
I'm a
ulit
Filipino
namin sa
first
totoo
before
lang.
I'm a politician.
Yes,
Bakit
I
hindi
understand.
napasan noong mga nakaraang
Nobody wants it.
Congress?
Nobody wants to touch it. It's just like, hindi ako pipirma dyan, baka masakta si Duterte. Ayoko pipirma dyan, magagalit ang sundalo sa akin.
So it's concern over yung reaction ng military.
Yun ang politician mo.
Yeah, exactly.
Lack of courage, lack of will. So pag
On
sinabi nyo
on both the executive and Congress.
Yes.
But are our politicians underestimating the ability of our military to be citizens and to understand na, teka muna, this is no longer sustainable, this is no longer tenable, we have to do something. Siguro naman na today. Are we underestimating? Kasi doon na pupunta pa natin usapan. Natatakot
Siguro
sa
din ang lapit nyo, meron kayong camera at saka mikropono doon sa Red Cross. Because 2 nights ago, I was with the retired Chiefs of Staff and Generals of the Armed Forces. And I raised this issue. You know, nag-usapan namin, parang nag-usapan namin, alam nyo, mag-ingat kayo dyan dahil tatabaan kayo dyan sa pension. And they themselves understood it. Remember, they had the Armed Forces board before.
Yes.
Nawala yung pera.
Yan na nga, yung RSBS.
Ayan. Nawala yung pera, nobody went to jail. Nag-pharmacy tayo, nobody goes to jail. So, kukunin natin sa ibang paraan. Bigyan mo ng pension. Ngayon, pag bigyan mo na yung pension, may entitlement na yan. Pag tinanggal mo yan, magagalit sa'yo. Yun ang lalong lumaki ang problema. Until it bites you where it shouldn't bite you. And then we have a problem. So, really, kailangan pag-usapan ng buong bayan niya, maintindihan ng bayan bago tayo gumalaw. Because that could be very... Look at what's happening in France. Tinaas lang ng was. Gulo na, nagsususunog na lahat. Ganun na ang mundo ngayon because of an explosion of information capability. Talagang ang tao, dalhin kung saan nyo dadalhin.
Pero so you already have realities on the ground. You have the system already in place. For example, si Trillanes was saying na kung ganun, yung mga active duty assist na yan until they retire, yung mga bagong recruit na lang ang, for example, ang pagbabayar ng contributions.
Everybody pays contribution to your retirement, right? I pay contribution sa GSIS, sila hindi.
Sila hindi.
Tapos malaki pa yung kanilang kinukuha, talagang may imbalance yan.
But does that make sense? For example nga, active duty, 400,000 plus police, soldiers, active duty, tuloy-tuloy na lang yan. Kasi as far as
You
it's
cannot
concerned,
solve
hindi
the
pa nagalaw.
problem, let's say I or any other senator can say, I will solve it. You have to have a dialogue and you have to make the military realize na itong problema so that they will be part of the solution. Because eventually, what good is your pension kung wala na ibibigay sa'yo?
Sige. So let's get back to that room where you were with the former military officers. What did they say?
Of course they're affected. Of course ayaw nila yan. Siyempre, alam mo, meron akong class sa military, pero hindi ko na sabihin na, bago na, may bago na, tumaas na naman yung ating kwan. Nag-uusapan na yan. And I don't blame them. Natutuwa ako because they're retired. But alam mo, marami pa rin advantage sa military. I don't mean to change the topic. Pag ikaw retired ka military, pwede ka maging Secretary of Defense, pwede ka maging bank chairman. So,
Board member ng kung ano-anong korporasyon.
Ang talagang preferred, kaya ako, magmi-military na lang ko dahil marami kang benefits afterwards. Pero pinakamalaking benefit ngayon is pension and it's going to hurt everybody. So the military has got to be part of the solution.
Okay, yes. But ang tanong, habang wala pa yung solusyon na yun, magkuku sila for this? I mean, yun naman yung tanong ng mga tao.
The best part is
yun naman ultimately yung panakot
all the leaders of Congress, the President, our financial advisors, you sit down with the military, rank and file, and tell them, this is the situation. And they're reasonable, man. Makakaintindi naman yan.
That's exactly my point. That's
yun dapat ang gagawin. Hindi mo pwedeng unilaterally, alisin mo. Bahala na kayo, bahala na si Batman. Because that's what happened to sa retirement. Paano naman kami? Hindi na kami mapupromote. We'll never get a chance to be a general. Magre-retire kami maaga. Yun ang nagkagulo ng gulo.
So
in fact, there was even talk of a coup about 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
So is this President Bongbong Marcos just basically on the best good faith argument here that this is President Marcos finally having that conversation that none of his predecessors wanted to have?
In fairness to the president, he inherited the problem. In fairness to him also, it was his father who started it. No? And in fairness to him, why should kawawa ba siya? Dapat pag-usapan. Pangalawa, and I'll be candid, and I hope I don't get into trouble with this again, you have to deal with the realities on the ground. His vice president is Vice President Duterte. She's a nice lady. I know her. I don't have any problems with her. But certainly there are people around that say, guluhin mo yan para ikaw presidente. Yan nagsisimula yan. I don't think she'll bite. I hope she doesn't bite. But if there's a consensus among the leadership na lahat makikipag-dialogue tayo, hindi dahil natatakot tayo mag-coup. Mag-coup kayo, you'll gain the opprobrium of the whole world. Hindi na uso yan, hindi na rules-based yan Look at Macron, he's standing his ground. Look at Netanyahu. Di ba? Hindi bumibigay. It's all confrontational na ngayon ang mundo. So, sa akin, I favor start the conversation right away. Start it in PMA. And let the PMA cadets talk about it. Because sila magiging, and then put a cut-off date.
Pero so yung PMA cadets, matagal pa yan bago magkaroon ng command.
No, but they're the ones who are going to have to
That's true.
Face up to the reality.
But you're confident that these are reasonable people, military and uniformed personnel.
Under the
Kapag
law, there's a
if you talk to
presumption of
them-
good faith.
No, I mean from your conversations with the retired generals.
They realize that there is a problem. They realize that there is a problem. Pero siyempre, kayo muna. Ba't
Nakalusot na
Yan
sila.
na
dito lang kami, ba't kukunin nyo pa yan? Meron tinatawag na vested right na yan. Di ba? Meron na yan. Binigay sa batas yan eh. So dapat, huwag nyo nang alisin. O kaya, dahan-dahan bigla. Huwag naman dahan-dahan bigla.
Pero sir, pwede bang tanggalin? I mean,
Hindi, babawasan.
that was the argument of Trillanes the other day. Sabi niya,
Diminution
under the
daw.
law, diminution of benefits yan.
Anybody can
That's
do that,
legal.
but you have to program it para makakapag-prepare.
So it's legal, it's possible.
Because yung iba, umuutang na sa pensyon nila eh. Di ba? Bibili ako ng bahay. Hindi ko natapos yung term ko sa military, may pambayad ako sa pensyon, di ba?
Pareho din naman in the private sector. Although
Lahat
mas
naman
maliit
pareho
na.
eh.
Yeah. But I mean, it's
Sobrang
not
taas lang sa
illegal
kanila.
to impose.
I'm not sure. I'll have to study that. No? I don't want to say
Kasi
something.
sabi
that
niya
I
yung
will-
sa mga labor code, which is private sector, no? Bawal daw yun.
Alin, yung,
Diminution
may
of
vested
benefits.
rights yun eh. Sa labor eh, it's always
Oo.
interpreted in favor of the laborer.
Paano sa government?
Ganun rin, I think. Pag mayroon ng ganun, may argument na sila eh.
Unless you change the law.
You change the narrative. The law is exceedingly difficult, but so the law is written. So ang kailangan na rason or reason must come into the picture. And the military is going to grow. It has no choice but to grow because we have severe problems right now.
But bottom line is you do see this conversation moving forward. There is more than enough avenue and more than enough options to be able to
It has to
put on
go
the
forward.
table.
The conversation has to be made.
And there are more than enough options and scenarios that can be explored
Yes.
to keep everybody
Yes.
talking.
I mean, kayo, you're sober. The conversation has to be made. Pag-usapan na natin yan bago lumaki. We don't want additional problems like this. So, sino yung mga magkausap dyan? Yung mga bata sa PMA, yung mga current crop of generals or
And the
colonels,
retirees.
and even the pensioners themselves. And then hindi naman nila kasalanan yan eh. Inabutan na nila. Kung ikaw ang finance secretary, saan ka kukuha ng perang pambabayad mo? Eh kung wala ka ng pambabayad, gano'n rin ang aabutin mo. Mahuhulog lahat tayo sabay-sabay.
Yan na nga, sinasabi ni Benjok na mauubusan kami ng pera.
Correct. Matagal na namin sinasabi yan.
Bakit hindi na pasang ano? That's what I want to know.
Ayaw ng iba because ayaw nila ng hard decisions.
Yeah.
The traditional politicians don't want to make hard decisions. They don't want to say, I'm going to ban this president from running. I'm going to put him on the dock. Wala eh. That's why we've never gotten anywhere. Sa Korea ba pwede yan? Ilang presidente na nakulong sa presidente?
Lahat, halos.
Sa Taiwan, nakulong. Dito, ayaw natin harapin ang katotohanan that in order to survive in a world of law, we must implement the law. And even Trump is now under indictment. Yun,
Just a
maganda
few
yung
hours
mga
ago.
senyales na yan. Maganda yung mga senyales na yan. Ganun rin yan, di ba? Dati mayroon mga nag-smuggle ng dollars, nagsabon ng pesos.
You're confident that will be a trend here too?
It has to happen eh.
Yes, sir. I think we all agree
It
agree
has
Isa
with that.
pagka-convict
We've been saying that
dito,
for the longest time.
pinapardon.
Di ba, basta na-convict, nakulong.
Pardon, immediate.
Hindi nakulong, yun ang ayoko eh. Dapat makulong.
Nakulong
Yes, sir,
naman
wala-
before
wala naman,
conviction.
sir.
Detention, preso kaballero eh. Di ba? Wala naman nakulong sa Muntinlupa, wala naman
Nasa
nakulong
sa
sa
bahay
Oo.
nakakulong.
Kung gusto
Saka sa
natin
hospital.
ganon, meron tayo dapat white-collar criminals. In America, they have white-collar criminals na in a particular penitentiary.
Yeah.
Pero ang
Detention.
importante rito, makulong. The ordinary citizen, wala kang lusot dyan, yari ka. Gano'n yan. So, that is what we have to practice in this country. We refuse. Even the people refuse to practice it eh. Mauna ako, magkakaroon tayo ng coding. Pare, pero muna sa akin yung plaka mo, gagamitin ko.
yeah.
Di ba, gano'n eh. Hindi mo pa sinasabi yung batas, paano ba tayo lulusod dyan? Dapat mawala yan. Because the law is God does not make us equal. It is the law that makes us equal.
Pero sir, to push that point, tayo rin naman eh. Kasi, for example, nakulong na nga, muntik ulit manalo. Binaboto ulit.
Correct. Which means that there's something wrong with our electoral system. The manner upon which we elect our people, yung sinasabing dynasty, hindi naman dynasty, may kasalanan tao eh. There are many places in this country na hindi na nag-i-election eh. Pupunta ka na lang doon sa bayan ng politiko, may sobre ka eh. Mahaba-haba eh. Tingnan nyo ngayon ang maraming mga nangunungkulan. Former contractors. Sila may pera. Ba't pa kayo makikisaw sa amin? Kami na. Nakikisaw-saw lang kayo, kami na. Mga nagda-drugs. Look at what's happening in Negros. Di ba? Ganun na eh. We better watch out. It's just like the pension system. It's just like these problems that we keep delaying and delaying. We don't want to implement the law. We don't want to touch big people. Ano mangyayari?
Okay. Shift topic lang. I want to ask you also, as a former mayor, local executive, I want to talk about devolution also because nandiyan na naman ang
Yes.
usapan, and local officials are pushing back against this full devolution. Where do you stand? Where do you stand on this?
There's no such thing as full devolution. In reality, you have to make sure that it is understood by the people because sila makikinabang, sila masasaktan. Sa akin, ang principles ko ng leader, closer is better. I cannot make all decisions for you. Pero sometimes, because ang tao ayaw mag-aral, ayaw makinig, kaya nagkakaroon ng unitary leadership. Ako ang gagawa niya. Yun ang ginawa ni President Marcos. Nakita niya, hindi niya mapigil eh. I'm sure he was sincere when he wanted to declare martial law. Because when you declare martial law, you're riding the back of the tiger. And if you fall, you're gonna be eaten by it. Ganyan rin si Putin ngayon. Di ba? So, ang importante dyan is, yung mga tao natin, dapat ma-realize na discipline starts with us. And if you don't do that, it starts in school. Yung cheating arrangement. Di ba? Sa eskwela, di ba? If we don't practice that, if we don't improve, look at our education. We're the lowest in Asia, in ASEAN. And we cannot change it by talking about it. We have to start by saying, all right, ayusin natin ang educational system natin. Because even our lead sa maritime, kinukuha na lang ibang bansa yung mga sailor natin. Yung mga nurses natin, wala nang gusto maiwan dito. They're all over the world. Kaya ang hirap ngayon. Kumuha ka ng nurse ngayon, hirap ka. Kami, nahirapan sa Red Cross. I'm creating a nursing corps, a medical corps, may doctor, volunteers. Dahil, inaabang ako, kung magyera sa Taiwan, I just want to tell you this, no? Mag-volunteer kayo. Because kung magkagyera, we have to have people who know how to do first aid. Kung magkagyera, you have to know where to get blood. You have to have the ambulances. We have 178 ambulances. We have to man them with nurses and doctors. Kung magkaroon ng disaster katulad sa Turkey and Syria, napadala kami ng pera doon. Hindi kami mayaman na society, but padala kami ng mga generators, mga blankets, lahat. Because pagtabaan tayo, tutulong sa atin yan. No, that's not the reason. That's transactional. Nakikita ko doon, pag-aralan natin kung anong gagawin nila. If we don't prepare for that, talagang mahihirapan tayo. Because all of a sudden, your world changes. Meron kang, nakita mo doon sa Turkey, 37 ata yung bakery niya. Nung madali, nag-iba lahat. Mahirap pa siya sa daga ngayon. So those are the things that we must prepare.
Senator, nabanggit niyo yung Red Cross. I want to shift topic ulit, no?
Oh, sige.
Kukumustahin ko lang yung vaccine situation. People are waiting for the bivalence, no?
Well, to be frank, we're looking for that. We don't have any literature on when it's coming. Some people say hindi na kailangan ng vaccine. Some people say, and I agree, the virus has adjusted, or we have adjusted, by natural resistance ng Pilipino. It has become like flu, no? Pero ang hinihintay ko, hindi yan. Ang hinihintay ko yung bagong pandemic. Something that will come out of the woodwork. Are we prepared for that?
Are we prepared for that?
That's why I filed the bill. Yung parang meron tayong Atlanta. No? I hope that passes. No? I hope that passes. Can you imagine nang tamaan tayo? Red Cross, hindi kami nagtetest. Napilitan kami mag-test. We invested and we had 14 laboratories and we were able to test. Kaya hindi lumaganap yan. Nagkaalaman kung sino may sakit.
Ayun yung pinakamurang testing.
Pa yun. And you have to prepare for this thing.
Pero yun nga, to Ami's point, sa lahat ng natutunan natin, sa lahat ng ininvestan natin, policies, protocols as well, if there was another pandemic, wag na natin ibahin. Let's say something of the same implications as COVID, di ba? If there's another pandemic in let's say in 2 months or 3 months, are we now more prepared in the initial stages as we were when COVID first?
Probably a little prepared. It's just like the typhoon. Inalis mo doon sa dagat, bumalik ulit. Tabi ng dagat. Ang problema natin is talagang serious awareness and responsibility shortage, SARS.
Okay.
Ganda yun.
Paulit-ulit tayo. Paulit-ulit ginagawa natin.
But where are we now better prepared? I mean, what are some bright spots na
Look at it.
hindi na mawawala to?
Ayaw sumunod yung mga tao. Hindi, magmamas pa ako. naramdaman nila pag wala ka bus, paano ka magtatrabaho? Di ba? So, I'm saying, natuto. Pero yung susunod, hindi mo alam kung ano.
Pero yung mga tao yun. I'm asking about government.
Infrastructure.
Yan ang problema. Because hanggang nakikita nila na yung mga nagnakaw hindi nahuhuli, nanakawan nila uli ang Department of Health. Matagal na yan, bata pa ako. Nung ako naging con-con, may kasama ako. Halika dik, punta tayo sa Department of Health. Bakit? May quota tayo doon. Bibigyan tayo ng gamot doon. Nung pa yan, binibigyan. Sabi ko, ayoko, hindi mo ginagawa yan. 71 pa yan. Ayoko gawin yan, kako, hindi ko pupunta sa bakit. Pag bumoto tayo dito sa kandidato ito, sigurado may quota ka. Bumoto ka na dito sa kandidato natin sa president. Kayo na lang, kako. Nung pa lang, hindi nagbabago. Sa corruption, hindi tayo nagbabago. Sa politika natin, hindi tayo nagbabago. Sumasama pa. Kaya tayo, nakatiwangwang. Government exists to give the people equal opportunities. And if we do not enforce the law, there are no equal opportunities.
Equal opportunity for the corrupt.
Well, it's only for the corrupt. Ibig sabihin.
I get the point about corruption. I still want to know how prepared we are for the pandemic.
We're not.
For example,
We're not.
PPEs. Nung una, nagkukumahog tayo. Kulang tayo ng PPE. I mean, yung mga things like that.
In the
Are we
end-
now better positioned? Do we
Yung
have now a
capabilities.
network?
Robbie, let me ask
Do
you a
we now have
simple
a network
question.
of hospitals that are now better networked?
You know what our people need, right? They want to be able to feed their family. They want to send them to
Yes,
school.
okay.
Because hindi makakuha ng negosyo ang mga tao natin. Ay, bubuhatin ko sa inyo umalis yung base. I could have said, kasalanan niya. No, I said, I will handle it. I involve the people. Nakuha namin ng trabaho. Sa labas, hindi na nangunguha ng trabaho. Saan ang tao? Nasa labas. The cost to our social values, to our moral values, is tremendous. Kala natin, wala. Iniiwan mo, mas mahalaga pala yung pera kaysa sa aruga ng magulang. Di ba? May uuwi yung nanay, iniwan niya doon sa boyfriend niya, patay na siya, nagsasaksak na yung mga anak niya. So, yun ang mga nakikita natin. Gumagawa ng sariling solusyon ang tao. Kung wala akong trabaho, pupunta ako abroad. Kakapit ako sa patalim. We're holding the knife by the blade. That is the solution. In other words, the government has failed us. That is a fact. We don't get investments. We don't, sabihin nila, balitan natin ang Constitution. Hindi ang problema, pagpasok mo pa lang, ninanakawan na yung turista sa immigration And yet, hindi natin nakikita, kinukulong talaga. Dapat nakikita, pinapasok sa kulungan itong presong, ipinipreso yan. Habang ganon, dumadating pa lang, meron akong pangbigay yan. Kaya mo na ako magdala ng pasalubong. Marami pa na nangyayari ganyan. So unless the leader, and I hold President Marcos, I think he's a good man, hindi naman sama-samang tao, sabihin nyo lang na gagawin ito at make it stick, he might end up to be one of the best presidents. But he has to make it stick. Diba? Kung hindi, paulit-ulit.
Okay. Former Senator Richard Gordon. Sir, maraming salamat po.
Always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
So,
sir.
live na tayo simula ngayon. Pagka inimbita namin kayo.
Of course.
Dito na sa studio.
So, tatawa na kami.
Anytime. I'm happy because
Improvement siya.
I think it
From
improves my mind when I talk to you.
Sige, maraming
Thank you.
salamat po.
It challenges me.
And that's all we have for the Chiefs. We hope it was discussed. We'll keep the conversation going. Ako po si Robbie Alampay.
I'm Ami Paminton of the Philippine Star.
I'm Ed Lingao. We are One News, all sides, all the time.